You know what time it is. It's time for Hot Topics Talk Radio TV, hosted by Toni Breedlove and Yvonne Baker. Oh boy, welcome to Hot Topics Talk Radio. I'm Toni Breedlove. And of course, Miss Yvonne Baker, the lovely lady up there in the right side of your screen. We are joined by, I don't know why Miss Cee Cee's there. There, I unmuted her mic. Unmute yourself, Miss Cee Cee.
I have to let somebody know they on their last chance in here.
So we are joined again by Miss Cee Cee Petty's son, and of course, Mr. Devon Patrick of Truf Bros TV. So I'm going to try and give everybody a recap of what I do remember.
Exactly.
So if you joined us last week, you would know that, of course, I indulged in a whole bottle of wine during the time that we were on air. Then it just went off the rails for me. But luckily we had Miss Yvonne, and then, of course, the wonderful Devon Patrick, he decided to join us. And, of course, Cee Cee decided to join us. And we had gotten into the subject matter of a date, of Miss Cee Cee giving this young man a chance. Someone that she worked with. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm still kind of foggy. Someone that you had worked with that you were trying to hold off, because that's not what you normally do, is date someone at work. But you decided to give this guy a chance. You went on the date, and from what I'm understanding, and I think this might be a consensus amongst me, Yvonne, and Devon, that you just felt that he was not that intelligent. Am I right?
I just didn't feel that he was the one for me.
Well,
that's what you said last week, Cee Cee. Come on.
Right. So let's back it up a little bit, because I think you had mentioned that you were bringing into the conversation different dialogue that entailed words that he just didn't understand.
Right.
So no, he just wasn't up to your level.
Right.
Okay. So at the end of it all, I think we all were trying to get in there and say, Cee Cee, you gotta, you gotta give folks a chance. And we left it at that. And then I asked you and Devon to come back, because I wanted to know, I was encouraging you to give him another chance. So that's where we are tonight. Did you really give it a chance on this second go around?
No, I most likely now, after having the debate, I probably did. I think you were saying that I had given him a pity date, which is, I didn't see it that way.
And again, I have to apologize. Hey, Wayne, I saw Wayne at work.
I had so much fun, so don't apologize.
So let me tell you this. I saw Wayne at work, right? And he was on the show last week. And he just walked in. I was outside, right? He just walked outside. He just goes like this.
I'm accustomed to people doing that to me when I come by, so. Not her again.
So my question is, did you give him another chance?
I did give him another chance. I went out with him again.
Okay.
Oh.
So tell me how. I want to start from the very beginning of the second chance. So tell me how you approached uh, the subject of going out with him again.
I don't remember so much how I approached the subject. Maybe something's like, you want to hang out again or something rather, and I was like, all right, whatever.
Okay. How did you feel about asking to hang out again?
Well, it didn't bother me. It didn't bother me either way. One way or another, I really didn't mind. I didn't have anything else to do, so.
So Cee Cee, you still in that pity date mode? Am I right, Devon?
I mean, he's a nice guy. He's really good music. He told me some stories about, him and his brother coming up where they came up at, and I was amused. I thought it was, when I wasn't always here. I grew up in the inner city, and we had our times where, things didn't work out the way my parents had wanted to. So I thought he was amusing. I listened to the stories. I laughed. I had a good time.
Okay. So, in the very beginning of your second chance date, how were you feeling?
Merciful.
I remember because this happened a while ago. This is many years ago. So it's not like this is a recent thing.
Wait.
I thought this was like recent.
No, it was in the last few years. It wasn't like this year or last year. It was maybe 3 years ago.
Hold on.
I thought this was recent.
That's recent for me. I don't go out on dates that often.
I could have sworn it was in the last few weeks.
No, I don't want to get on any more pity dates, so I just say no. No, thank you, sir.
I thought the guy that we talked about last week was recent because we mentioned you said it was recent.
He was the most recent date that I've been on.
And how long ago was that?
This was about 3 years ago.
But I thought in the show you said that
you worked with him.
Date with a guy.
I did work with him. I worked with him before I worked where I work at now.
Wait a minute.
That is not the understanding we all got last week. It was because I could have sworn you said in the last few weeks.
I just started a new job. I just started a new job like last week. So we worked together. We still worked together after we went on a date.
Okay, so now that we're over the shock of the era,
you said you're going to give him I thought when it was said at the end of that one, you said you were going to give him a chance at another date.
Yeah, but that's a horse of a different color. We get to that part when we get to it.
Oh, hell.
I was going to give him another chance, Devon, and then there was some late breaking news that I was like, oh, no, you out of here.
Well, you already gave him another chance 3 years ago. You gave him another chance 3 years ago because you already went on a second date with him.
Right, but when I saw him again, and he mentioned to me how I hadn't really given him a chance. So I was like, wow, everybody's ganging up on me with this gift.
Okay, all right, so clarify, please.
Like, okay.
Cee Cee, clarify. When he mentioned that, was that recently or 2 years ago?
No, it was recently. It was recently. In the last.
Oh, dear Lord.
All right, Toni, give me a second.
Y'all go ahead. I'm trying to share the show.
So we're clear. I just want to make sure we're clear on this. Last week when we were on the show and we talked about a date, it was the initial date was from 3 years ago, right?
Yep.
Okay. Then you had already went back out with him again after that before we even talked about it, right?
Right.
Okay. Then when he mentioned you didn't really give him a chance.
I went on another date with him this February.
So you went on 3 dates with him?
I went on 3 dates with him. I went on 3 dates with him.
Oh, hell.
Wait. I didn't consider them dates. I was doing like, let's hang out. You want to get something to eat? Oh, he laughed.
Look, Devon just left.
This morning, he texted me and said, and this morning.
Yvonne is out of the house.
He left. And this morning he texted me and said, "Hey, are you still going to the gym? You want to go to the gym together?" That was as recently as
this morning.
This morning.
So have y'all still been talking?
I mean, he still texts me every now and then.
Okay, so wait a minute. So I'm gonna go back.
I didn't consider them dates. I was like,
Alicia,
you're not by yourself, Alicia.
So here's the problem.
Damn it.
Here's the problem I'm having. You said you wrote him off after the first date.
I wrote him off as somebody, a potential date, but he was still amusing and made me laugh, so I want to hang out with him.
Wait, but you did 3 extra times. You went on 4 dates with him.
But not dates. I went out with him like, oh, you want to go get some? That's not if I'm not interested in you, that's not a date.
But you
okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute, Devon. Wait a minute. First of all, I see that we have to have some clarification.
Yeah.
So clarification, and stop me when I'm wrong.
Okay.
The clarification is that when you first went on the date, it was 3 years ago.
Yes.
3 years ago, also in that same time period, you went on the second date.
It wasn't a date.
Okay,
encounter. Second encounter.
Right, stop. Now, I want to find out what Miss Cee Cee clarifies. Oh, fuck.
It's killing me.
What Miss Cee Cee clarifies as a date. Look, Devon is losing it. So we got to get some clarity here before he gets up and walks off.
Again, right? Again.
I'm sorry, I read Wayne comment. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Wait, let me go back.
You're right. Wayne, yes.
He was amusing, Wayne. I was amusing.
I defy anybody to go back and listen to the last 30 minutes of that show we did last week and tell me if you listen to that and listen to the first 5 minutes of this one and not say, wait a minute, man. I defy any. I'm sorry, Toni. Go ahead. I apologize.
But you know what, Devon, you know what? I feel proud of myself that I could keep up with that shit last week because I was drunk. I had sat here and drank a whole bottle of wine, and I know I heard what I heard. And evidently,
I wasn't drinking, and I know I heard what I heard.
Yvonne and Toni, y'all show numbers from last week finna shoot through the roof because everybody's now gonna go back and listen to that show. Hey, Cee Cee, love you, baby. I do. But I'm going to be real with you right now. I'm going to be as real as I possibly can right now. People are going to say, you're full of shit. Because they are going to listen to that show, and it's not like it's going to and go back like, no, that's not what you said.
You know what? Wait a minute. Cee Cee got somebody with her in that room.
Uh-oh.
You guys...
Hey. No, so we got a new dog last night. I got a friend of mine who had a beagle, and she can't handle him, and she was going to surrender him. So I took him, and I have a dog already. This dog is in here. He is so busy. He is tearing up stuff.
No, that wasn't a dog when you first came on the show.
My God.
Yeah, it was the dog. He had gotten a hold
Was
of
it a dog from 3 years ago?
Was it a two-legged dog?
He turned out to be. So, I'm not all bad. I'm not all bad.
Okay. Can I ask a few questions now? Because we got the date and everything. I'm sorry, Toni and Yvonne. I just gotta look. So
go for it.
Date that you don't consider a date after you wrote them off after the date from 3 years ago. Let's talk about that.
Okay, let's go.
So when you went on the second date that you wrote him off on, did anything come from that? Because I think we need to get past the 3 years. We gonna spend an hour on that alone. But
no, because my question. Hold on, Devon. Now I get you. I got you.
Yeah.
Because when we had finished the show, and I think it was over the weekend, I was in contact with both you and Cee Cee. Was it the weekend? Right. Okay. Yeah. So Cee Cee was about to tell me what happened on the second date. Am I right?
What Sean keeps saying that it wasn't a date. I was going to tell you what happened the day after the second date.
Did you? I'm sorry, real quick. Did you give the guy a second chance?
Third chance.
No. Hold on, Yvonne. Oh, okay. This is important. Now you good. You good, Yvonne?
Because I was going out with him as a friend because he told me some funny stories. No. I was amused. I was hanging out.
Okay. Look. Question. Just simple. Did you after you said you gave him a second chance, right? I just need to know, did you say that at this point? Because I'm confused. So did you say you gave him a second chance?
I may have said that because I did go somewhere with him again after that. We did go out.
Would giving a person a second chance in your world doesn't constitute as a second date? Because I gotta get a clarification. I got my pen here because I'm writing. So
you don't have to write.
I just want to know what clarifies as a date.
So giving that guy a second chance didn't classify as a second date to you?
No, because I went out with him, but going out with him again, he had no chance of dating me romantically after the first time. It was hanging out. He was like,
well, so you did give him a second chance?
No, but I went out with him again. But I wasn't thinking about.
But you said you gave him a second chance, but you didn't really do it.
I went out with him a second time, but I had no intention of like going past anything about
that.
But just like, hanging out, maybe having a drink, playing some pool, something like that. Just, passing the time.
Jacqueline say, put that link up immediately.
Hang on, Jacqueline, because I'm trying to get. I want to know what classifies as a date.
I think we need to let Cee Cee just tell
the story.
Words what exactly.
The floor is yours.
Everybody except Cee Cee, because we gotta get an understanding.
So we went out, we hung out, we had some drinks. We went back to work. The next week he was like, you want to go out again and have some fun, whatever. We'll go out, we'll have some drinks, play pool or whatever. I was like, okay, cool. So we go out, and the following Monday morning, I'm hanging out with some of the girls from the job, and we're chatting. And
can I interrupt? What era was this?
This was after. This was right before I left. Right before I left the job.
Wait, no. How long ago was this?
Yeah.
This dog. Oh my God. Right during the pandemic, because we went out again in February.
So last year.
Yeah, February. This year.
So
February.
This year. Okay, so where was this year?
So I'm hanging, we're talking, and we're talking amongst girls, and somebody walks by and goes, "Are you talking about blah blah blah? You know he's married, right?"
Who?
The fucking dude I went on the date with.
He might have been married 3 years ago. So we don't know that married.
Let me tell you what he did. So remember I told you that he had been asking me to go out on dates with him for months? Apparently, he had gone home on Friday and married this woman and still continued to ask me to go on dates with him.
What year?
Well, it doesn't matter what year it was.
Yeah, it does now. What it does.
Why? Because now you're married, so why are you asking me to go on dates with you?
Well, here's the thing. If you went on a date with him before, like, here's the thing I don't understand.
Oh, give me a second, guys. Oh, man. Oh, the dog is something.
I'm so confused.
Oh, my God.
This? Oh, dear God.
We spent 20
While we
minutes
wait for Cee Cee, let me say hello to the folks that are in the room just a second. I just want to welcome everybody to the show. Miss Jacqueline, thanks for joining us. I'm going to put the link up in a moment. Hey, Chris. What's up, Wayne? Alicia. And what's up, Nick? Are you guys as confused as we are? Hey, Yolanda. And my sister Kim and Shara Ann tapping from Real World News. So, what happened?
She went on a date.
No, I didn't go on a date. This dog.
Was it this year or last year?
This dog, I tell you, he's so busy. I'm like, oh my God.
He busy.
I know, Chris. I know, right?
Okay. I'm gonna say you have done in the 10+ years I've known Toni and Yvonne. In the 10+ years we've been doing this.
Thank you.
You have done something that nobody else has
Nobody's
done.
ever
Not only
done.
confused the people on the show, but the listeners too. No, I've never, like, everybody who's like faithful listeners to Hot Topics Talk Radio is all in there like, wait, what? But and then it's the crazy. The crazy thing about it is, I think it's that yeah. So the crazy thing about it is,
yes. Matter of fact, I'll be right back.
The crazy part about it is,
talk amongst yourselves.
You have. It's like people like when you okay. I'm going to ask a question, Yvonne, if you don't mind me just asking something really quick.
Go right ahead.
Okay, so you said that the guy asked you to go out a couple of weeks ago, but you had found out he was married. Right. Question: how long has he been married?
This is what I'm reduced to.
He's been married since I started.
Carol one?
When I started
working,
since I started working there immediately. When I started working there, the first day I started working there, he started asking me out.
Okay.
And I said no for months, and he had gotten married, and he was still asking me to go out on dates.
So when you went out on a date with him, the first date, the one 3 years ago, was he married?
He had gotten married the weekend before that.
So, and you didn't find out he was married till 3 years later?
We're trying to figure it out, Cheryl.
Everybody's in there like, put that link up now. And everybody...
I didn't find out he was married until 3 years later. He went home on Friday, got married on Saturday, came back.
And you went on 3 dates with him.
I went on
you worked
right
3 years, and you didn't find out he was married to 3 years later.
No.
Your numbers of threes are all bad. I don't know what's going on here.
That's not my lucky number.
That
must not have been.
That to me, it doesn't make sense to me because it just seems too, like all over the map. But again, I'm sorry because you were supposed to finish telling us the thing. Only reason I'm saying is when I'm trying to figure something out, I do ask a lot of questions.
That's the best way to figure things out.
Oh no, not in this case, baby. I'm being honest. Because the more we go down this rabbit hole, the crazier it gets on this side. But the thing is, like, okay, so in 3 years, 3 dates. When was the last date that you went with, or the last date you went on with?
We went to a barbecue restaurant in Somerville.
So y'all was continuously going out to eat and stuff like that?
We went to the movies. We went to a couple different places.
And those aren't considered dates to you, right?
Not if I'm not interested in you like that. I'm hanging out with one of my boys.
Then why are you going?
Wait.
Okay.
I'm about to turn the bottle up.
So when you said y'all did, y'all went to the movies, y'all did shows, y'all did all of that, right?
Yeah.
That sounds more than 3 dates. That sounds like that's more than 3 dates right there.
No,
And you know what? After the first one, I'll give her the first one. But after the second and third one, those are dates.
I didn't think
in my book, those are dates.
When somebody calls you and goes, "Hey, buddy, you want to go to the movies?" I'm like, "Yeah, come on."
Right, but Cee Cee, okay, here's
but you knew he was married at that point.
I didn't know until recently. I knew this morning, like now I know this morning when
you not been out with this man.
"Hey, you want to go to the gym and work out together?" Or he'll call me and be like, "Hey, you want to do
all right,
this?
Look.
That?"
All right, look. Love you, Cee Cee, but we finna really dive into this. All right, look, let's be real.
Go ahead and dissect this.
let's be real, because I'm gonna speak from a guy's perspective. I don't know the females, but I am gonna speak from a guy's perspective. You've been dating this dude for 3 years. You can consider them to be dates or not, and you don't get an inkling. As smart as you was last week, you didn't get an inkling that this dude was married. Like,
I was not dating him. That's the thing.
Okay. You're not
again. What is a date? What is a date to you?
I'm not calling him up at night. We're not on the phone having conversations.
That don't have to be considered a date, girl.
If he calls me up or texts me and says, "Hey, buddy,"
those are booty calls.
Okay, so if you wasn't dating,
I said those would have been booty calls.
Well, they would have been if there was booty involved, but there wasn't.
Okay, so that answers Sharon Ann's question. No hanky panky. There you go. Okay, now question: If he's just talking to you, hey man, what's good? You want to go to the show? You like, hey, I don't like you, but I'm gonna go to the show with you anyway. Cool, right?
And now, you're married,
right? But she said she didn't know he was married. If you knew he was, this is what's gonna make the difference. If you knew he was married at that time, would you still hung out with him like he was a buddy?
No.
Then you were dating him.
No.
Then you were dating him. You were not because it's a buddy. It's a buddy. It don't make a difference.
Because I was gonna say just that.
Makes a difference. The fact that you saying you and him married makes a difference proves you were dating him.
So let me ask this question. So just on the sheer fact that this person would call you and say, "Hey, buddy, would you like to go?" with the operative word "buddy," does that make it okay?
Well, I mean, yeah, because we were not going on dates. All right, let me go a little bit further. So this gentleman is married to a woman who's much older than we are. That's one. So she doesn't go to the places that we go to. So if he wants to go someplace that, you know, an older woman wouldn't go, and he's like, "Hey, I want to go to the Jay-Z concert. You want to go?" His wife is over retirement age. She don't want to go to the Jay-Z concert. Yeah, let's go.
But you said,
wait a minute. First of all, I take offense to the owner at the retirement age. You're me and Yvonne are at a retirement age.
I'm going to bed.
So here's so you said that if the man asks you to go to the JC concert, hey buddy, pal, sister, girl, we good, high five. If he came to you and said, "Hey, my wife is after I changed my wife's diaper, is there any chance me and you can go to the Jay-Z concert?" You said you would have told him no, right?
I would go. Why would I not go? I would go.
Because he said, after I changed my wife's diaper.
Because she's too old to go to a JC concert.
Wow, you guys.
That's right. Because she's retirement age.
The only reason I said is the key word in that is wife. Now, when I asked that question before, you said you would not have went out with him had you known he was married. Now I said, if he told you his wife was changing diaper, would you go? You said, yeah, I'd go. So I'm confused.
I would not have gone there on the initial date with him had I known he was married.
At that point, I didn't consider a date. At that point, that's obsolete. That don't matter.
Right.
What I'm saying is, you knew he was married. I asked one question. If you knew he was married, would you still have went out to the movies, to the show, to all those things with him? You said no, right?
That's not what I thought you meant. I thought you meant if I knew he was married initially, I would have never gone anywhere with him.
Okay, but let's say after the date. So even if he said, "Hey, buddy, I'm married. Do you want to go to the show and just hang out as friends?" Would you have went?
Yeah.
So,
Cee Cee.
He said hang out as friends.
Okay, so we got that established.
Do you know the wife?
I didn't know the wife, but he's got a family member that works there, and we all know each other, and we have all been out together. And she was another one because she knew he was married and didn't say anything to me either.
Okay. When you were going out with him without knowing that y'all were dating in your world, did he know? Did he think y'all were dating?
He couldn't have. He was married.
No, it don't.
Married guys don't matter. What I'm saying is, did in his world, in his mind, because we know what I think we know what you thought, but I'm just gonna go with the set. Right, there we go right there. Did he think y'all were dating?
It's possible he may have.
Okay. Did you make it clear after the first date that you didn't know and that you didn't know? You make it clear, hey, we're not dating, we're just friends.
I did. I definitely.
Then how would he think y'all are dating if you told him flat out we're not dating?
Because when I talked to him again, he said to me, "You never gave me a chance." I said, "But you are married, so what chance was it?" I was.
Okay. When did he say that?
You never gave me a chance. You just dumped me. That's what I learned to be like, oh shit.
When did he say that?
Girlfriend.
Okay, when he said
you used the word dump.
When did he say that?
You dumped me. And I was like, wait a minute, bring that back one more time. And he said it again. And I was like, I don't understand because I'm not your girlfriend, sir.
Okay, so he said that when he said you didn't give me a chance, when did he say that?
He said that in February before we went on the most recent date because he called me up and he said, we don't talk anymore, blah 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 blah. He's like, you never gave me a chance, you just dumped me.
Okay, wait, just a time frame. Give me 1 second, Toni and Yvonne. I think I can close this in. Okay, boom. So in February, he said you didn't give me a chance. February of this decade. I mean this year, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now, when did you find out he was married?
I found out he was married in May.
Let me explain how I know that don't make sense.
Because wait a minute, when did
May of last year? May of last year.
Because you had mentioned the pandemic.
Right. So I found out then because May come first, and then February of 2021 we went out again. But not on a date.
What?
Okay.
Wait a minute. Wait.
2021, you found out May of last year that he was married, right?
I did.
And you said you went out again with him in February of 2021.
Yeah, right. Not on a date.
Wait a minute. Didn't you say that y'all went to dinner?
This is why I drink.
We did go to dinner.
This is what
I'm drinking. Wait. I have a question. Y'all went to dinner.
We went to dinner.
Who paid for the dinner?
He paid.
It's a date, girl.
I had to go get my vape pen. I had to go get my vape pen because
I'm about to light a cigarette for real. Cee Cee's stressing me out.
You're killing me, man. Y'all are killing me.
We have spent 35 minutes just trying to get the right decade together.
Because y'all keep trying to make me be out when we're not dating.
Wait a minute. Why is it this thing we're trying to make you? We're trying to get some clarification. We're trying to get a timeline.
She's like, well, if he pays, then it's a date. Why can't it be
It's a date. If he paid for the dinner the third, fourth time, he paid for the dinner, that's a date. Now, if you had gone and you paid for your meal and he paid for his, okay, I can see it. He paid for the meal.
And you know that man, look, Jacqueline's like, look, please, if you don't.
Okay, I'm doing it right now, Jacqueline. Oh, dear Lord. You got me sweating. I'm shit. I done graduated from wine to vodka.
I'm going to hell in a basket. Thanks, guys.
I have never been this lost in my life, and I got small children. I got small children that can explain this to me, and I have never.
I wasn't dating him. As far as I'm concerned, I wasn't dating him.
Okay, are we really going?
Okay, so while we got this pause here, please tell me what is a date.
When I go on a date with somebody, it's somebody that I may be interested in. So I went on a date with him. I went on an initial date with him. I was not interested in him in that way, but we remained friends. So when he called me and said, "Hey, you want to go to the gym? Okay. Hey, you want to go to this? Hey, okay, fine."
So what's considered a date to you?
If I'm going out with somebody who I'm interested in,
that's why I keep
romantically.
Okay, but so if you go out with people you're not interested in, but you do date-like things, that's not a date.
Wait, what is date? That's date-like things.
Yes.
No.
If I'm taking you to the show and it's me and you, that's a date-like activity. If we going to eat and it's me and you, that's a date-like activity. Me and you, that's a date-like activity. Okay, I'm mute me while Jacqueline speaks. I know it's
we have so much feedback. I can't even hear you.
All right, somebody turn the volume down.
I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, Jacqueline, you ready? Get your volume adjusted. Turn it down. All the way down.
Dang it.
Okay. Are you coming through okay? Are we coming through okay to you?
Is that better?
It's better.
Is it better? No background echoing, nothing like that?
It's a date with no benefits.
No. We're hearing us. Tell you what, I gotta take you down while you get your camera to make sure your volume is turned all the way down. Okay?
Okay. I'll go in.
All right. So
Yolanda said it was a date with
Yolanda
no benefits.
said dates without benefits.
Yep, date with no benefit.
So
But it's still a date.
Going then? He didn't have to keep on asking me to go places.
You didn't have to keep accepting knowing that this man thinks it's a date.
Exactly.
You look.
Because you knew the situation.
Women are very, very smart. Y'all are very smart. Y'all have great intuition, and you can pick up on things. And we can sit here and joke about it all we want to, but at the end of the day, you grown, Cee Cee, and you knew that man thought y'all were dating. You knew this. So I
made it very clear and said in all unsaid, I am not your girlfriend. We don't hang out every time.
There's a difference between being a girlfriend and thinking that somebody's dating.
I'm not none of that, and it's not. It's very few of the last time I went out with him was in February.
Okay, so let me ask you this question.
Go ahead.
So, at any point, was it okay to say no because you knew his circumstance?
I've said no to him before. Saturday
let's say no period. No period. Because to me, and this might be old school, okay? To me, I would think because he's married, it's a no-no. Go ahead, Yvonne.
Yeah, Yvonne made a good point.
What did I say?
Wait a minute.
I'm confused.
I mean, I know it was something along, but here's my thing. Like I said, your intuition is something important. Regardless of the fact, let me ask you this, Cee Cee, and this is sum it up. If you found out your husband was going out and kicking with buddies, that's a female buddy, and they going to the show and things, would you be okay with it?
I would, because I'm not that kind of person.
Wait, you said you would?
I would. I'm not that kind of person. I'm like, you're not a hostage here. You do what you want to do. If you do
but you
just thing, that's on you.
Last week you said if your man don't make sure your bills is straight, he can't do X, Y, and Z. You said all of this last week, but now you're not treating him like he a hostage? That he's allowed to go out and kick it with other females?
You are free to roam about the country as you wish. I've never been that kind of person. That's why I stayed single.
No, that's not
disclaimer. I'm not your girlfriend. I make that disclaimer with everybody I go out with. I am not your girlfriend.
But Cee Cee, you keep saying you told him, I'm not your girlfriend, It's not this, it's not that, but you still went out on a date with him, regardless of what you consider as a date or what you consider as not a date. When
Do
a
you
man takes you takes you away from your house and he's supplying, he is paying for everything, that is considered a date. And knowing he was married, if you knew he was married and you still consented to go out with him on a date, that was a date.
It wasn't a date. Okay.
is that like? I'm sorry. Before Jacqueline says something, this may sound crazy. Is that something you tell yourself to convince yourself that what you doing was okay?
No,
Yep.
I
Yep.
was thinking the same thing.
Yes.
Is that something like I didn't do nothing wrong because I wasn't actually dating a married man. I was just hanging out with one.
no.
But isn't that even worse?
What? Just hanging out?
I
with
mean,
him?
because if you look at it, telling a person I'm hanging out with a married person is
Well,
different.
because I think that when you are seeing someone who is married, whether you might have an intention of not being serious about this person, somewhere along the line, there becomes an emotional attachment, whether it's you that has that or he that has that. Because it sounds like he's the one that was beginning to have an emotional attachment. And the only way that he knew that he was going to be able to see you and be married was to say, hey, buddy.
He wanted his cake and he wanted his cake and eat it too.
I mean, I've been around a long time. Yvonne's been around a long time.
Just a little bit.
Get out of here.
I ain't been here that long, and I can see. I mean, it really. I'm sorry, Jacqueline. Thank you.
That's
I'm
okay. Jacqueline, what you got to say?
I don't know.
Okay, can you hear me? Are we good now?
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you for allowing me on, Cee Cee. Now, I started off the show. I was like, well, maybe y'all, take it easy on Cee Cee. Maybe y'all were kind of being too hard on her, but I was really trying to listen attentively, but it just seems like we were saying, like Devon said, at the last 30 minutes of the show last week to now is night and day. It's like night and day.
Romantically, but he told me some stories. We had some things that we had in common, other than like just background things, like coming up, certain things that happened in his life, and I was like, okay, the guy's not all that bad. So I did go out with him some more. But when I found out he was married, I said, listen, you have a wife. I'm not your girlfriend. I'm not going on no dates with you.
Okay. Does going out, when you say I'm going out with you,
what's throwing me off is
I didn't consider it a date past the first time we went out.
So when you say I'll go out with you, do you think that that's considered a date? When the person tells you, okay, I'll go out with you.
No,
do you think that's
is that a date? Say no.
Is that a date term?
No. He called me up and said, let's go to the gym. And I said, okay, that's not a date.
No, but that's not what you said. If you say, okay, I'll go to the gym, yes. But telling somebody I'll go out with you, that those words in itself is date terms. Everybody knows that. You can't say, hey man, won't me and you go out and have dinner one night? Oh yeah, I'll go out with you. That's almost like a common ground or a common place of understanding.
No, I go out with my girlfriends all the time.
But you're not gay.
But we know you're not dating your girlfriends.
But I didn't think it was a date. I didn't think it was a date. I didn't consider it a date. I was like, okay, you want to go eat? Let's go eat. I like ribs. Shit, I like beer. Let's go.
But I'm see, this is where you're losing me. You found out he was married last year. What you said, May of last year.
Yep.
And then you went out with him again this past February. I'm sorry, there wouldn't have been no February.
Y'all keep saying went out.
There wouldn't have been no February.
Okay.
Or no February. There wouldn't have been no Nova area after I found out he was married.
I'm sorry, Toni, Yvonne, if I feel like I'm taking over y'all. So I really
So right ahead.
But let me ask a question. Let me ask a really quick question. If that man's wife would have came to you and said, "Yo, have you been out with my husband?" What would you would have said?
Out where? Yeah, we've been out drinking.
Now,
beer,
when she said that, if you said yeah, and she balled her fist and cracked you in your nose, would she have been wrong?
No, she wouldn't have
She
been
would
wrong.
not be wrong.
You know, so that goes to say you knew going out with him was wrong.
No, y'all killing me.
That if you said if a woman punched me in the face for going out with her husband, she's right. That means you know what you're doing
Because
is wrong, and
it's the way you're saying it. You saying when
No.
the woman asked me, "Have I been going out with her husband?"
But you know what? Let me kind of like adjust that, okay? Because under any circumstance, if a wife comes to you and they ask you about your involvement with her husband, whether you feel or classified it as a date or not, she's gonna punch you in the face.
I understand that. We've had that conversation. He and
But
I.
you and him?
Yeah, because I said to him, "Why?"
Oh snap!
Hey,
this shit is getting deeper and deeper.
You want to be real? Y'all want to get real and have a real conversation?
This is real.
Y'all really want to do this?
Married, I said to him, "Why did you tell me that?" Because now you put me in a spot where if
no, baby,
and this lady jumped up, she hit me with a frying pan. I don't
baby.
even know what the fuck is going on.
Let me explain what it was. You can say whatever you want to now, but we
gonna
get to this.
Mine's water.
I guarantee you.
Clarifying.
You were okay with seeing that marriage? Like we gonna be 100 now, man. Let me everything gloves off. Let's do it, right? Let me take this watch off. We finna get down, baby. Let me tell you what happened. I can tell you for a fact, you were okay with seeing this man. You were comfortable dating this man because
I was not dating him.
Going out.
Because at this point, miss me with the going out. Y'all would date. So now, here we go. You're seeing this man. He told you. You just said y'all had conversations about it before, but you said you didn't find out he was married until
we had a conversation about it in May. After I found out he was married, I asked him. I said, one of our co-workers mentioned to me that you were married. So I said to him, I said, "Are you married?" He looked me dead in my face and said, "Kinda."
And you went out with him after, but here's the thing: a man who looked you square in your face and said "kinda," and you still went out with him after that. You knew what you were signing up for.
He called me and said, "I'm going to this rib joint and have some beers. You want to come?" I said, "Okay."
Let's get drunk.
And you should have said no.
Every man.
You should have said no. You are married. I don't date.
Like you did in February. The same thing you said in February. You was like, "Oh," and this what makes it crazy. You said in February. You said that you told in February, "Oh no, man, we can't do this." Of course, I cut you off. You're married, but he told you in May of last year the exact same thing, and you went along with it.
And you
so
went.
What he said in February don't do anything. It don't matter what he said in February. Because from May of last year up until February, it don't matter. So him asking you to go out with him again in February, hell, you've been doing it all this time anyway. So what's different?
Wow, thanks, D. That's fucked up.
No, it's not. It's not, baby. I promise you. It's not meant to be fucked up. It's just to be. Come on now. Like let's stop sitting here and stop pussyfooting around the whole thing.
I didn't
like,
consider it dating. I had no interest in him romantically. I was not going to bed with him. He called me up and said, "Yo, you want to go to X, Y, Z?"
But you went out with a person who you said in your brain can't keep a healthy conversation going.
Right. No conversation for being ribs. That's eating.
So what y'all talking about?
Right.
The weather.
What he was trying to do as far as getting
and telling you how he's married and how he tired of his wife.
No, we didn't talk about no marriage. We was talking about like how he was trying to move up in the company and what he was doing and was asking like, what can I do?
But you knew what he made. You already established. Look, I listened to last week's show before we got on.
I already established that, right? But he was asking me other questions about, like, he wanted to know about how he could invest some money and expand in some other stuff. And he was like, "Can you help me?" And I was like, "Well, I could help you, but this is stuff you should be talking about with your wife."
But you said you didn't know.
Hold on. Cee Cee, I am so surprised. He's asking you about assistance with a business. You said, "Oh, I could do this," but you should be talking to your wife
while you're on a date with him.
I wasn't on a date.
Hey man, these ribs is good. Hey, but you should talk that over with your wife about a career. I'm not gonna keep hanging out with you.
It was about putting money in, and I was like, before you give any money to somebody, you need to talk about that with your wife because your money is her money.
But he's talking about bettering himself in a position. You know what? Okay. Okay. Look.
Oh my God.
Ribs.
Second chances and all that is out the window. we gonna just throw all that out. We gonna throw that out, the baby with the bathwater on that one, right? Now, here's where it gets weird. You said you knew this man. Basically, I'm gonna be honest with you. You knew he was married way before the time you admit. Let's just be 100.
I didn't know. I really didn't know. And like I said, the person said to me, "He's married." And I said, "What?" And they said, "Yeah, he got married this weekend." And when I saw him later on, I asked him about it.
Okay. You saw he got married the weekend before.
The weekend before.
So okay, whatever. The weekend before y'all second outing.
The weekend before our first outing, he got married.
Cee Cee, you said they told you the following. You just said.
So we went out. So he got married on Friday or over the weekend. Monday, he asked me, "Can we go out?" I said, "Yes, we could go out on Friday."
But you said your coworker. You just said your
right.
coworker.
We went out that Friday, and the next Monday we were talking about it, and somebody came by and they said he's married. That they heard him in the human resources department telling the human resource lady that he had gotten married that weekend.
And that right there should have cut it.
Okay.
Right there.
But here's the thing. Here's what I don't understand. You said you would not have went out with him in the first week because you said here's what I don't get. Now, again, last show you said y'all never had a conversation. It was always passing by.
Right.
And then he came through and he said, "Hey, let's go ahead and hang out." You was like, got nothing. Again, I ain't got nothing to do, so I'll do it again, which is what you said at the beginning of this show. You was like, the reason I gave him a second date was because you didn't have nothing to do, right?
That's what you said. He's stuck on this word date, so yeah.
That's what you know. That's what you said. You said, I went out with him. I went out with him on the second chance date because you were bored.
Yes.
Okay. So at that point, can we establish, well, dating or not, at this point, it don't even really matter. But you knew, which means you were found out after the first date, you found out he was married, right?
Yep.
So that was 3 years ago, right? When you found out he was married, right?
Yep.
So what does May of last year have to do with anything?
No, wait a minute.
Oh my God.
This how you catch a motherfucker right here. I'm sorry. If you telling me you found out the following week that he was married, what does May of last year have to do with anything?
Nothing at all.
So you've been dating a married man.
I was not dating him. Okay, fine. Yes,
we're right back to 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I haven't been dating a married man because you all saying that those are dates. For me, I wasn't.
I mean, you said you didn't know until May of last year, but you just said you knew 3 years ago because you found out the following week after the first date.
Okay.
So how do you find out 3 years something? 3 years? How do you find out something last year that you knew 3 years ago?
I did it. I found out after the first date, and I didn't go out.
Which was 3 years ago, right?
Yeah, and I went out with him again, and I went out on a date with him again in February because you guys are saying it's a date.
Okay, no. Forget that it being a date. Like we said, that's semantics. Forget it. What we saying is now we're involved on when you knew he was married. Now we're at you knew he was married 3 years ago. But you told us you didn't know until May of last year.
Okay, I got you.
Come on, man.
Cee Cee. We're going to get off Cee Cee because it's after 8 o'clock. Bless her heart. I love me some Cee Cee.
Listen, they're not dates. I haven't been on a date in a long time.
And you should not.
Really? You just stay at home with your dogs.
That's what I be doing. I be trying to mind my business, and they be trying to get me.
You know what? See, the thing about minding business is the dirtier it gets, the open it gets. And the reason that situation became a little bit more.
I wish he would give me Dame Espacio.
You know too much.
Hey, Chris,
I read it too. We need to change the topic. Did I give a married man a second chance?
They're not dates. I think he's my buddy.
Cee Cee, babe. I promise you, the fact of it being dates don't even matter no more. That's being dates, hanging out. I promise you, that doesn't even matter no more. The thing
now,
honestly, to be real, everybody's thinking it. Even in the chat, there's no consistency to your story.
But you know what? I'm way past the story part. I'm way past the story part because this is why I like to talk to my young sisters, because I want them to be not only consistent about themselves, I want them to have a whole lot of respect for themselves and respect for the word marriage. I think today a lot of people lose the fact and they lose the undertone of what that really means. Because there's no way that if I were a married woman, that I would tell my man, my husband, that it's okay for him to go out and spend time with another woman.
Yeah.
You know, if she's your friend, she should be my friend.
And that's,
invite her to the house.
That is so dangerous.
No matter how old she is.
He's invited me to his house. He's invited me to his house.
Did you go?
No, I did not go.
Okay, that's another show. Oh my God. I love me some Cee Cee. I do. But my little sister, we gonna talk.
All right.
We gonna talk.
All right.
I don't want you to have nothing to do with that man no more.
I'm gonna tell him that. I'm like,
don't you laugh.
Don't tell him. Just stop.
Like they told me to leave you alone.
Did she just say I'm gonna tell him?
I'm gonna tell you, sir, These people in a whole nother state said leave you alone, and I think they're right.
Kidding, guys. Oh my God.
I know. Look, everybody's being facetious, but on the more serious.
No, but really, I have said to him before, like, listen, I don't want to go out with you. Why don't you take, like, Saturday? He called me up and said, "Oh, I'm outside. I want to go." I said, "Well, why don't you take your wife?" I'm in my bed.
Wait a minute, he was outside of your place?
He was outside, just outside randomly. I'm out.
Oh.
Hanging out. I'm getting ready, chilling, having some beers or whatever. He's like, "Why don't you come out?" And I'm like, I'm out here all by myself. I was like, "Well, you should have took your wife."
But wait a minute. First of all, why is he calling you, telling you that he's out and about?
Because he's used to calling Cee Cee when he's out, knowing that Cee Cee knew he was married. Let's be honest. Cut
that shit off. Cut it off.
That's from a guy's perspective. If a man knows that, here's the thing. A man's going to get really comfortable with you when you start accepting the things he's already told you. When he told you I'm married and you knew and you still were hanging out with him, he's gonna contact you, especially if he contacts you and you do it anyway. So
because you haven't said that it's not okay.
When you tell him why don't you hang out with your wife, he's gonna say, "Well, you didn't say that when we was at the rib shack, so why are you saying that?"
Or at the gym,
or going to the movies. Why are you saying it now? That makes sense. It's called. To say it then, it carries no merit. It has no weight. The man is basically rolling with everything you've allowed him to do, and you basically give. And I'm gonna be honest. He was 3 more encounters before you saying, "You know what? You've been around here 3+ years. Not just give him a round or 2." He was. I'm sure that man put money in your pocket. I'm sure that man did a lot of things.
No, he has not put no money in my pocket. No, sir. I'm telling you, we just be hanging out. He's not paying my bills. He's not giving me any money. We're not doing
So what's the point?
But you shouldn't be entertaining them at all.
Do you have any other male
You shouldn't be entertaining them at all. It's called a block. It's called a block. Use it. You shouldn't be entertaining them at all for nothing.
Oh my God, you're getting worse.
Here's the thing. Seriously. Do you have any other male friends?
Yeah, I have mostly male friends.
Okay. Why now? The reason I'm going to ask a very specific question because I have something to say behind it. Why wouldn't you go out with them unmarried male friends instead of the guy who can't hold a conversation with you because he wasn't intelligent enough, and you said he does not make the money that you desire for him to have? So why wouldn't you go out with the guys who didn't
I will hang out with anybody who asks me if I feel like leaving my house. If I feel like, I want to go out, okay, yeah, anybody could call me and say, let's go, such and such. If I feel like getting dressed and going, I will go. It's not
okay. Now
what I would want for you, little sis,
Toni,
what I would want for you, little sis, is to draw a boundary.
Okay, now really quick,
draw a boundary.
I'm gonna say this real quick, Toni. I'm gonna let you finish your joint. The reason I say this, Cee Cee, is because
it's almost gone.
You have children, right?
Yeah.
And a woman who's married to a husband and is going to think that you knew I was married, and she's going to say you knew I was married. It's the difference if you know what, sweetheart, I didn't know, he got me too, but you knew. And people don't play about them things nowadays. They might not come for you. They may come for your kid. And if that's the case, you have to think it's not worth it, especially for a person who I don't have any interest in anyway. Right. That's why I'm like, you gotta, and you seem like you're smarter than that. So
she is.
It doesn't register right because it don't seem like I can see if you gave me something to believe that it was worth it. Like I kind of like his personality. He used to have great conversation. He does these things, but if he's not doing any of those things, I don't get the purpose.
I would be entertained.
So I'm gonna ask Jacqueline to make her last point because we're gonna start to get out of here. Ms. Jacqueline, make your last point.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna simply say Thank you for allowing me to participate, and just thank you, because uh, I don't even drink, and I may need me some wine after the show.
You know what? Hey, you say you still talk to him, Cee Cee?
I spoke to
Thank you, Miss Jacqueline. We love you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye, Jackie.
I
If you
spoke to
still
him today.
if you talk to
Bye-bye.
him today, Cee Cee, you know what you should do?
What?
I will pay you to have that dude come on this show.
Oh no.
Well, who was that?
That's how you do that.
Jared said, call him.
No.
You know why you don't want to call that man?
Why?
Because a lot of shit will come out if you did. A lot of stuff that you said was wrong and didn't happen, I bet you I'm willing to bet you 30% of what's in my bank account right now that a lot of the shit you said, he'd be like, now, Cee Cee, stop playing.
No, I just don't want to put him on the spot like that. But like I said, I talk to him often. I talked to him this morning.
So, if he got on this show, will he back everything you said, or will he add more to the story?
He would back what I said.
So he wouldn't have no more to add?
You know what? I'm going to ask him.
Toni, you should do a show next week with dude on.
I'm going to ask him.
You going to ask him?
I'm going to ask him.
Is he shy?
I got questions.
He might not want to be on it because, he's on the spot.
What's his name on Facebook? That's what you do. That's how you fix that right there.
I don't know if he'll sign up for that. That's why I was like, nah, because...
You know what? His name was Alias. He was an alias.
Tell him, you can do the show without showing your face.
That's right.
He ain't even got to sign on with his face.
Okay, you can do the show without showing your face, but people will recognize your voice, though.
But if it's just now, we was just friends, it's nothing to hide.
Nothing for me to hide. I'm not married.
Oh!
That's not the point. Oh, my God. We got to come back next week.
You're not married, so you're not
come back
accountable for
next
anything.
week.
I'm sorry, Toni. I'm going over your timeline. I'm going to back out.
Hey, stop. I don't want to play with you.
I love me some Cee Cee. I do. And as my young sister, my black sister, I want you to cut that off. I do.
But not till he comes on the show
next week.
Not till he comes on the show next week.
And I only say that because people have gotten so crazy about marriage. And you could be in your everyday life and he's telling you that, yeah, we just friends. His wife don't know about you for real, because he could be, saying other things. You don't know. You don't know between them two. And she comes and hunts you down because she thinks that there's an emotional attraction or connection. And people are serious.
Totally wrong, but she would be totally wrong, but I understand what you're saying.
She might be. But I'm only saying that in hope for you that when you find that one that you can call your husband, I want him to cleave only unto you. Not to go out and have female friends that they spend so much time with in places
but it's not a lot of time. That's what I'm saying. It's not a lot of time. I go out with him few and far between.
Cee Cee.
But you should not.
A married man one time is too many times.
I got you.
Because he made the commitment to be married to that woman and to spend time with her. And to do activities with her.
As a woman, though, and I'm not a woman, I can't say anything about it, but I can only assume, as a woman, you should have had respect for that woman. Like, don't respect him. You ain't got to respect him. And if he's messing up, fine. But
that's on him.
The act of it itself, honestly, coming from a man.
We've had that conversation.
Itself,
he and I have had that conversation, and when he asked me why
it didn't matter if y'all had it because you were still doing it. So having a conversation means nothing. As a man, if my wife is hanging out with a guy and she like, oh no, we just going to the show, we going to the club, we going to this, we doing that, I'm gonna be like, no, the fuck you're not. You're not hanging out with no guy. You're not doing this with no guy. If I can't hang out with him and you keeping him a distance from me, there's no reason for you to hang out with him. Exactly. I need to meet this dude.
Exactly.
But that's where I think as a woman, you know how hard y'all got it out the gate with me.
Exactly.
So you gotta be respectful to those women. Respect for your own sisters. Like we can't be out here doing the opposite of what we post on Facebook. We can't say we love our sisters, we'll never turn our back, but we hanging out with their husbands. That's not a good.
But you know what? And then I have to even go further with that on the flip side for the male. Okay? Because in some cases, we are responsible for teaching the man, the male, the black male, what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. And as long as we still allow them to get away with doing all of these different things outside their marriages and all of this other stuff, that's how we breed cheaters. Yeah. So somewhere we have to cut the line off. We got to.
Come on.
You know? Like, so I'm coming, don't worry. No.
I'm talking to this dog. He's all over me.
He's cute.
He loves you.
It's time to go to bed. Yeah. Mind you, I have a Yorkie. You haven't seen him yet, right?
Cutie.
And I just got him last night, so I don't know why he's so attached to me. Get down.
So, to the listeners, we are clearly over our time. Clearly. And we haven't done this in forever.
I think we did this last week too.
We're going to come back next week. I'm not
sure. You don't remember.
Sharon is crazy. You're funny. I seen that.
What'd she say? Dogs want to go to the
movies. He don't have no home training yet. He can't go nowhere. He's going to the training session.
That's right, Kim. To respect these spouses.
You're right.
You had so many comments here, Toni. You couldn't even read them all. It was.
I really couldn't.
I have to go back and read them.
This was a good show, and I really, truly enjoyed it. Thank you, Cee Cee. You know, even though we were on you, my baby, we love you.
It was all in love.
Be careful. Seriously.
That's all I want. I want the best for you.
And Devon, I will not want you to interrogate me.
Right?
No,
Devon
I mean,
Patrick, Esquire.
He got his pen and everything.
If it's a show and I have to be on there and you come at me, I'm leaving.
Another way. Oh
that's my right. God. Jerry Spring ain't got nothing on you.
Oh my God, that was funny. That was funny.
Come down.
So it has been great, you guys.
It has.
I have truly enjoyed tonight's show. Cee Cee has given us complete comedy tonight. And I tell you, I love her to pieces.
Right.
So make sure that you come on back. And I do thank you. I truly do for supporting what we're doing here on Hot Topics Talk Radio and the network wide. Make sure that you come on back tomorrow night for Truf Bros TV. Devon, what you guys got coming up tomorrow night?
We're going to just do a part 2 from last week. You can't say.
Oh, so I hope I'm not canceled now.
You gotta go. You gonna meet with HR tomorrow. Like, hey, so we saw you on that show yesterday.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna need to get you and Keith in this office because we gonna have to hand this out. Y'all gonna go straight over the intercom next. Hey,
I don't work
Keith, let me see y'all upstairs real quick. So y'all like date. No, but
I don't work there anymore, and this is why I don't date people who I go to work with, and that's gonna be the last time.
Especially married men.
The married men.
Yeah, that's gonna be us for we're just gonna do a second show of account culture, and we're gonna just go into other stuff that we went to last week. So we need this stuff. That's all.
All right, so you were kind of breaking up for a minute, but they're going to be doing a follow-up of part 2 from last week's show. That was the culture. Tell me again. I can't remember.
Come down.
Cancel culture. Yep. So NTY. So make sure that you join Truf Brothers tomorrow night here on Facebook. The show starts at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific, 9 Central, 10 o'clock on the East Coast. I love you people to pieces. I love you, Yvonne, Cee Cee, Devon. I love you to pieces.
Love you back.
All right. So
All right.
everybody make sure that you follow us on Facebook so you can get show notifications. And be sure, share the shows with your friends. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah, but
Please
not nobody that told me.
Make sure that you share with your friends. Let them know, the things that you're listening to every week and who you're listening to and what you're getting out of it. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and close out tonight's show. We will see you tomorrow night on Truf Brothers TV. All right, y'all. Have a good night. We love you.
Love you.
Bye.